A 245% tariff on Chinese-made guitars? That's right, a 245% tariff put on today. Chinese goods imported into the U.S., which this is it's a fake, counterfeit Chinese Gibson guitar. It even has made in America, made in USA on the back of the headstock. These are going to be struck with that, well, apparently effective immediately, but just to compare it, it's a $300 ship to the United States guitar. This cost 100% is doubling it. So if something is marked up 100% or you add 100% to it, you add 100% of the original cost. So the original cost is $300, you add that again at 100%. So that makes it a $600 guitar. 200%, that would be a $900 guitar. Then you add another 45% to that, so you're going to add another, $150? So you're at $1,050 for a Chinese-made subpar guitar. $1,050. And guess what else you got to add to it? Depending on your state, you might have some state sales tax to add to that too. So not only $1,050, maybe another 10%. So you're $1,225 into a Chinese-made Gibson fake guitar. And I got one thing to say about this. I love it. Great. I know it's probably not going to stick. Not this high of a tariff, but it'd be nice if it did. Because why would you ever buy one of these? If you're going to be $1,200 into it, buy the real one. I mean, you could pick up a used 335 for $1,200, actually made in the USA with all the Gibson components on it. Why would you not do that? Now, there is a segment of the population, they say, young kids and stuff like that like these, that, maybe has a friend, the dad is a luthier, they can get these things set up and make them play good, maybe can change out the pickups or something like that. But not at $1,200. There's going to be a big boom. If you have a bunch of these, which I just happen to know people that have a bunch of Chinese-made Gibsons, and the price is going to go up on those. And I don't believe in, I'm not one of these that believes in having it. I obtain mine not through buying them online, even though I've shown where you can buy them online. I usually end up with mine in a trade of one way or another. Not that I haven't laid out cash on them, and I found these in pawn shops, and I will pick them up, once I expose that they're not real, and they hang there for a few months, and they go, well, we might as well take a little bit of a loss, because, one like this, they would give $500 for, thinking it's real. And then I come in and go, well, you can buy these brand new for $300, and I show them. Then I even break it down even further. I always flop over the pickups, loosen the strings, and, take off the truss rod cover and show them the evidence that it isn't real. But at the same time, I love the fact that they're doing this for now. Not going to get political on this because, I have friends that are on the left and the right, and some are going to disagree with me. Some of them are going to really agree with me. But the shop owners are going to be against this, because if I owned a shop right now and I was buying brand new product, there's a lot that comes out of China. Holy crap. You might as well just stop the order as quick as you can before, unless they'll have a grace period like what you have ordered, I'm sure. And I have to double check that, but I'm pretty sure if you ordered it before the tariff that there will not be any tariff on it. So it'll come in like it used to as long as it was ordered before then. But once that's done, any new orders will be subject to a 245% tariff at this moment. Whether Trump holds on to that tariff or not, we'll see. It might be a negotiating tactic. In 3 weeks, may not even be on it at all. So we'll see. It's as time goes on, things tend to change quite a bit in this current administration. But to all my liberal friends that are hating this, or conservative friends that are hating this because they love the good deal on the Chinese ones and they know how to level a fretboard and do some work to it and make it play like a $1,200, $3,000 guitar, they're going to be a little pissed. They won't have access to these, not new, if they ever bought them online. I don't know too many people that actually went through the ordering process online and bought it through Alibaba or DHgate, or there's a couple others that online. eBay has them also, and sometimes they're cheaper on eBay. But China will be hurting in this arena as far as stuff shipped into the U.S. because we are the biggest buyer of these fake ones. I know they're all over the place. They confiscated a whole container load of fake Gibsons and fake, Fenders, Gibsons. They just mix them all together and send them to a distributor here. And I know where they're located. They're in 2 cities, and when they come from that, they're considered, local, and you don't have to pay the $100+ shipping to get it over here. Now the $300 price, that's with shipping in it. You'll see these for $200 plus $100 shipping, or somewhere close by that on these. So to get it to your door yesterday, not counting today, yesterday it would have been $300. Now it's going to be $1,225 to get the same exact subpar Chinese-made fake Gibson to your door. And with ones just like this, made with, I can see it. That's a maple. That's all maple. That looks like maple too. There's no mahogany in this. Oh boy, that one's tough to tell. It's pretty grainy. So it's maple. It's maple. This is a solid maple guitar, pretty much. And don't know if that looks like rosewood, but it's probably some stained cheaper wood as far as that goes. The inlays, just have the parallelograms on it, this particular model. These are available usually in any format, that sells these. So right now, or yesterday, you're in it for $300. Now you're in it for $1,225. And there's a lot of stuff that's probably going to show up here. They're going to try to collect a tariff from somebody, either the consumer or as they ship them over here, which I think they have to pay the tariff before they even show up to the shorelines, is how I think it works. Not 100% sure on that, but Google it and find out. I could Google it, right now. I was going to Google it before I started this just to do a little bit of research and have something up here. But sometimes I forget to do that. Anyway, I did obtain this. I got it in a trade. I did not purchase anything. It just became part of a trade. And it's subpar. It's not the... Still a little louder too. But the pickups aren't squealy. At least they probably dipped them in wax, so, keep them from squealing. The covers aren't on it all the way. I mean, there's flaws here and there on this. Couple of sharp fret ends. It needs, it needs to be gone through. The neck is relatively straight. The Not a lot of buzzing going on, but the little high action, that'll take some of the buzz off. So this needs to be lowered, probably. Fret level, the nut needs to be probably cut. It looks close. This video was not about this particular guitar. I may do a video separately on it, but just to let you know that you're not going to be seeing a whole lot of Chibson videos anymore. I believe those are going to go by the wayside. That's only if this tariff sticks. Now, if they remove the tariff, I'm sure there's going to be plenty of people, you know, that start buying them. This is another one that I did feature in a video that you can go back and check it out. I broke it down. Doesn't have the same, it has the same pickups in it, same pots, stuff like that. The same truss rod cover, and I'm sure it's put. I haven't taken that one apart, but I will, and may do a separate video on it. But anyway, let's look at some of what you're buying right now. I know the tariffs aren't showing up at the moment. They haven't adjusted the websites yet, and they will, but I'll show you what I'm talking about. Here's an example of one of them over at AliExpress. This is $296.35 shipped. As you can see, it's got the parallelogram inlays, but as you can see, there is no added shipping on there. It is just absolutely, that's your price, free shipping. As you can see, if you can see my mouse cursor right there, and not seeing any sign of any tariff at the moment or any added price. That's what they were. And here is DH Gate, as you can see. But even look at how they impress the serial number on this particular model. If it comes in that way, that font is pretty close to actual Gibson font. And usually it's not impressed that deep into the wood. But, you know, there'll be other ways to tell that it's definitely not a real one. This one has kind of a satin finish. But anyway, you can see it hasn't gone up in price either. It's at $328.13 with free shipping. So you got the same, a little bit more, but no sign of any tariffs yet, even though it got implemented today. I don't know if there would be a tariff added to this immediately or not. So just, you know, guessing. If you ordered it now, there's a good chance that they're going to hit you up for some more money. So not saying don't take your chances. I wouldn't. I would never. I would spend zero money on doing this. I wouldn't even chance it. You know, as far as that goes, if I had $1 million in the bank, I still wouldn't chance it. It's just not. It's just stupid to throw money away. You could eventually probably get your money back on non-delivery of item, and then you might have to fight them on it or something like that. I wouldn't even mess with it. Now, Temu. And here we go. Look at what I found. The exact one that I have. It actually came from Temu, probably. Same exact inlay, same body, same everything. Yeah, this is what it is. Now, what they did is on the headstock up here. Let's see. Can I find that one? Right here, you can see, if you can see my cursor there, that they obscured it a little bit. It does say Gibson on it. This is the model. It is identical, so, to the one I've got behind me. So just to let you know, they are cheaper too. Look at there, free shipping, $257.02. That's not as bad as I thought it was. Now, but it's Temu, and they are cheaper. They warehouse everything. They ship it from China, and they ship all over the world. I know they gotta somehow be making money, but they're going to get hit pretty hard with this tariff if it goes through. But and they're going to get hurt big time because almost all their product comes out of China. Now, there's no sign that they're using the lawsuit headstock or anything like that, but they do. I've seen videos of people ordering, Gibson looking guitars, and they come in with the Gibson headstock just like anything else. Those are pretty bad ones, though. I know I don't know who they're using to make those. The ones that come from Temu are a little, ooh, they got a long way to go. If they're just in-house manufacturing somewhere, have a few of the worst luthiers, put in some group somewhere. But this is how they're beating them. This comes from a friend. Just talked to him. He is sort of a YouTuber, and he doesn't do a whole lot of videos, but he loves bringing a bunch of chips and Gibson made Chinese copy counterfeits, whatever you want to call them, in, and he loves dressing them up. He shops eBay and buys pickups ahead of time. Doesn't use anything new. He gets pretty much used Gibson pickups on eBay. He buys them, at about half price or maybe, 25% below. But he gets the right bridges and the right parts, the right tuners, and he puts high quality stuff in them and he refinishes them. But according to him, what they are doing is shipping these to South Korea, where they own a factory. And since the tariff is only 10% out of South Korea, when you buy it, it's going to have the label on it as if it came from South Korea. And that's how they're going to get around it. That's just what he heard. There's no way to substantiate that whatsoever. So it's hearsay. I've been messaging him back and forth. I wasn't on the phone with him, but he said that yeah, they'll figure out a way. He said with that high of a tariff, there's no way that they can devalue their currency down low enough, and that really hurts their population. There would be some kind of an uproar, and maybe, I don't know. Anyway, I am feeling sorry for some of the dealers out there, that were struggling, and they're new dealers, and I don't know how this is going to impact them. I know it's going to be too expensive to order from them. It'll be like when the pandemic, when they basically Guitar Center had like half supply of guitars. They couldn't get stuff in. We may see something like that again, which we all survived it somehow. But the lack of supply could happen. There could be a huge spike in guitars, which I'm not totally against because I don't hang on to anything anyway. So is it going to hurt me? Probably not as much as somebody that deals in new product. Is it going to hurt Guitar Center? Absolutely. It could put them under. That nail's been hammering in that coffin for a while, and I got nothing against Guitar Center. I love Guitar Center. I would do it. I would run the whole company quite a bit different and sell mainly just guitars, basses, amps, and PA systems, and custom order drums. That's it. And then get rid of, all the other crap in their rooms and fill it up with more guitars because that's your biggest seller. But that's just me. Plus, I wouldn't keep the used stuff. The used stuff, they need to utilize Reverb and eBay. But that's my opinion on that too. So, I'm not an expert, just strictly a dude with an opinion. But I think that they could get turned profitable, but they would have to do something that drastic. They would have to, yeah, they've got way too much used inventory right at the moment. And the ones I've seen and the ones I've seen online, there is a whole bunch. And they might end up getting top dollar for it, but the way they waste money when you buy one from one store, they'll ship it to another, and they're at the shipping there, and they don't charge you for that, or they charge you $5 or something like that. It's just, that's a loser, man. You start shipping a bunch of guitars, and you start figuring out that shipping cost. It's a lot. And if they just made each individual store start a Reverb and an eBay account and just sell all their used stuff, mix it in with a few, been hanging on the rack too long stuff, and they would have a constant supply of money coming in, and that would probably increase their revenue by 20% a year. I don't know. That's just a figure in my head that I think it would, because I used to own a shop and I got quite an idea of what I would do in that situation. Would it work? Don't know, but I mean, it would increase revenue. Fender doesn't want dealers selling stuff new online or on eBay or Reverb, even though they all kind of sneak it on their old inventory. There's a way around anything. But anyway, just to let you know, these tariffs, am I worried? I'm not personally. Do I think some people should be worried? Absolutely. To the hobbyists, it's not going to hurt you. I mean, there's enough Chips and Gibsons out in the wild to where you can probably stumble across a few here and there. Since I go to a whole lot of pawn shops, in a month's period of time, I'm seeing them out there. And some pawn shops spot them, most don't, and they get ripped off on these. And I'm against them being here. I wish they weren't here at all and nobody had them, and we just had to deal with imports, and they restricted them so much that they couldn't get them in here. That would be great, and I wish they just didn't build them. I'm not for it, but that in the beginning I was totally against it, and then I just kind of threw it in my hands because they were everywhere. I'm going, what do you do? I've now started ending up with them. So am I against it? Yeah, I'm still against it. Do I profit on them? No. Anyway, if you get a chance, hit that subscribe button down below and comment. I need to know what everybody's thinking about all these tariffs. Are they for them, against them? Let me know. I'm really curious to what other people think on that. So definitely comment below. If you want to, hit the notification bell. Therefore, when I upload a video, you get that. This is a monetized channel. Believe it or not, they pay me for my stupid ass videos, which I kind of do it for fun. It's kind of a challenge. So, but y'all have a good day, and until next time,